What's up, peeps? Julian Williams here at the Distance. Got a video for you guys. This is a prediction for the upcoming bout between Lateef Kayode versus Antonio Tarver. Bout takes place on June the 2nd for the IBO Cruiserweight Championship. Puts together the challenger, Lateef Kayode versus the champion, Antonio Tarver. Just overall, this is a very intriguing bout. We've been, a lot of the boxing fans have actually been talking about this fight on Twitter. There seems to be kind of a little rivalry going on between both of them. And just, what you have in this one, you have the young, up-and-coming fighter against the seasoned veteran. And I'll start with Antonio Tarver. Tarver just won the IBO belt back in July, defeating Danny Green in Australia, in his own, Green's hometown, and just knocked him out. Antonio Tarver throughout his career has always had a tendency to stand back and actually get tired in later rounds in the fight. And he's going to be facing a fighter who's younger, who more than likely, Kyle, who's going to be getting his second win. He might be getting his second win late. So in this fight, Tarver's going to have to go and he's going to have to fight intelligently. Tarver fights well behind his jab. He fights well behind his jab, has a very sharp left hand, sharp left cross, decent left uppercut, and just overall very good athletically and does well setting up his shots. Whether it's using his jab or whether it's off the counter, he just does well setting up his shots. And this is what he's going to have to do in this fight. He's going to be taking on a younger fighter with quick hands and stands upright. So what Tarver's going to have to do he's going to have to use a lot of lateral movement, fight well behind the jab early, and look to kind of set up Kayode with the left hand. The left hand is going to be the main punch for Tarver in this fight. Just due to the fact that Kayode is... One thing is Kayode is younger, and he hasn't faced the competition that Tarver has faced. And it's going to be important for Antonio Tarver to use his years of experience, and a lot of veteranship in this fight. It's going to be lateral movement. It's going to be setting up Kayode from angles. He's going to have to pretty much pivot and catch him. Pivot, catch him with the left, and just move his feet. Look to double the left hand when he lands it, because he does very well at doubling the left hand, especially when it lands it, because it's kind of like it comes automatically. So just overall in this fight, I think he's going to be fighting, behind the jab. He doesn't really want to be aggressive in this one. He doesn't want to chase. He wants Kayode to chase him, so he could just set up his shots, on the move. Look to just look to set him up and just counter his jab. Look to counter that quick jab that he likes to utilize with his own, coming underneath it with his own jab, coming underneath it with the uppercut, or slipping the left cross in from time to time. And I think he can very well win the fight if he's able to, do those three things. On the other hand, you have Lateef Kayode. Kayode is, is a cruiserweight as well. He, he fights upright, has quick hands, decent work rate, and has power behind his left hook. He's very left hand dominant, and pretty much in this fight, what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to outwork Tarver. If you look at Tarver, one thing you notice with the Dawson fight, Dawson was able to fight well laterally and work behind his own jab. He was quicker than Tarver. He's quicker and more agile than Tarver. And Kayode is no Chad Dawson, of course. He's no Chad Dawson, but he does have the quick hands. He does have the decent work rate. And just in this fight, he's going to have to pretty much use that work rate and that youth to his advantage in this one. Just because Tarver, as I mentioned before, his entire career has had trouble just fading at the end of fights. And he has to look to take Tarver out early. He has to go to Tarver's body early. He has to go to his body early. And when he goes to the body early, it's going to pay dividends for Kayode later in the fight, because it can set up the knockout if he can go to Tarver's body early. And also try to look to counter Tarver's jab. Look to pretty much just look to outwork him, let his hands go. And I think he could very well win the fight just based on the work rate. He has to fight with sheer aggression. Sheer aggression coming out from bell to bell, using pressure with his hand speed and using the hand speed to his advantage to just work Tarver and just continue working him until he's able to, and just continue working him until the later rounds and maybe leading up to a possible knockout over Tarver. So who I think is going to win this fight? I'm going to go with Antonio Tarver. I'm going with the veteran in this one. Kayode, I think what he's going to do is he's going to make Kayode, come after him. He's going to make him come forward, and I think he's just going to use the ring, use his angles, and because Tarver does set up very awkward angles, and I think he's going to use those angles and early in the fight, and use his movement early in the fight to kind of set him up. He does fight out the front foot when Tarver fights out the front foot when he has the advantage and when he knows he has the upper hand. So so I think Tarver's going to go in and he's going to outpoint Kayode and get a decision. So I'm going to go with Tarver by decision. Yet on the other hand, I do think it's a very winnable fight for Kayode if he uses that youth and just outworks Tarver. But I'm going to go with Tarver by a unanimous decision. So anyway, peeps, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.